Hello there and welcome to this log run workout plan. I'm going to give you 10 simple exercises that you can do at home or in the gym to help you be an effective team member of the Armoured Muscle charity log run. Now, the log run is all about teamwork. You've got to be able to pull your weight to help your team. If one person goes down, there's a bit of a cascade for the rest of the team. The log itself weighs about 30 kilograms, so we're going to spread that between 6 to 8 people. So you're looking at about 5 kilograms, a little bit less each. Now, we will be using straps to run with the log, so we're not going to be doing like the proper military way where you're just going to hoof it on the shoulder. We're going to be using straps. And you can do things, grab the strap, loop your hand underneath. We can put twists in to help shorten the strap so we can adjust the height for everyone. So I'm going to give you 10 exercises to be split across 2 workouts, and you can add in a run as well. It would be ideal if you can run 10 kilometers. It's going to help to be able to run 10 kilometers with the log. Don't worry too much about the pace of the run. You're going to be running fairly slowly with the log. There's even going to be some walking moments as we cross roads, navigate some more tricky parts of the public as well. So if you can run 10K, definitely helps, but don't worry too much about the pace. I'd rather you could be more concerned about your strength, being able to hold the weight for the amount of time. Okay, so let's run you through some of the exercises that we're going to be doing in the workouts. Like I said, we're going to split it down into 2 workouts. Try and split this as evenly as you can throughout the week. But if you have to do them the day after the other, that's fine, but try and keep it nice and even where you can. You can do this at home, you can do it in the gym. If you are doing it at home, you might just have to be a little bit more inventive with the weights that you choose. Instead of using, say, a kettlebell or dumbbells, you are absolutely fine to use a rucksack. Try and make it heavy though, that's the important point of this workout. If you need to, fill up cartons full of water, stick it in your bag, bricks, whatever. All you've got to do is try and make it heavy. I mean, be inventive, use kids, hold them up and they're pretty heavy, okay? So the first workout is going to be a strength-based workout. It's going to be more lower body and lateral focused, like with the log run. You're going to have a lot of stuff always pulling on one side. We will be changing sides, so we're going to work each side independently and nice and evenly. What you need to do is aim for 10 to 15 reps for each exercise. Have a rest for 2 minutes. Repeat the exercise again for 10 to 15 reps. Have a rest again for 2 minutes, and then 10 to 15 reps. That's 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps with 2 minutes rest between each exercise, okay? If you can't complete the 10 reps, use a lower progression of exercise, which I'll show you in a moment, or choose a lighter weight. If you can easily perform 15 reps on 2 sets back to back, try and increase the progression or increase the weight, okay? Let's try and get that development occurring, that progressive overload. The first exercise I've got for you is the offset split squat. So for this one, you're going to want your weight. I'm going to be using a 10 kilogram kettlebell here just for demonstration. Okay. It's going to be offsets. That means you do one side and then you do the other. For the split squat, you're going to stand with your feet apart, and then the weight needs to be on the loaded leg, so the leg that's in front of you, okay? So I'll stand this way. Okay. From here, with your feet split apart, you're going to lower yourself down until your knee nearly touches the floor, and then powerfully stand back up. Keep it ever so slight forward lean so you can get the glute activated as well. Down and up for 15 reps. Immediately change onto the other side, and then down and up for 15 reps. Your free hand could be wherever you find comfortable for you. Once you've done 15 reps on both sides, take your 2-minute rest. Now progressions, you can go for a walking lunge instead, so an offset walking lunge. You'll go 1 step, step forward, and then 2 step. Now this time the weight is on the opposite side to your loaded leg, so we're going to get much more lateral stability coming in here. So that'll be a 2nd rep, 3rd rep, so on and so forth until you hit 15 reps, okay? Change sides, go again. If the lunge is a bit tricky, or say there's a bit of knee pain in there, try and go for a goblet squat instead. So weight up high, or you can hold the weight low, whichever's more comfortable for you. I prefer up here, and then go for 15 full depth goblet squats. So right the way down, right the way up. The more flexion you can get in your knee, the healthier it's going to be for your knee as well, and the more strength you're gonna get. Next up is the single leg Romanian deadlift, again with an offset weight. So holding one weight, you're gonna be stood, soft knees, so ever so subtle bend in the knee. And then in one hand, we're going to lift one leg just off the floor, and then same arm as the loaded leg. You're going to lower yourself down by pushing the bum backwards and keep going, keep going, keep going. We are not trying to touch the floor, okay? You only go as far as your lower back allows you to. So once we're down, we squeeze. Now, how far down do you go, okay? So we lower down, lower down, lower down. As soon as that lower back area begins to fold, that's it. You go stop just before the fold and up. So if you can get down to about there, that's great. If you can get down to the floor, you know, that's also fantastic. Progression-wise, you can do a double leg deadlift. So both feet on the floor this time, both hands, bum travels backwards, and then squeeze the bum forward, going down and up to work the hamstrings and the lower back as well as the glutes. If you want to make it harder, you can add in a stability challenge to this one. So for this, we go to single leg, and then we twist the core and then flatten out again, then up. Okay, so we're going for planes as well. I'll be down, twist on the hips, twist back up. As you see, balance challenge and squeeze. And that's gonna work the hips quite nicely again for that stability, because when you're running with the log, you've got someone on the other side also pulling against you. So the logs are always gonna be pulling to one side, and we need that lateral stability. 10 to 15 reps per leg, 2 minutes rest after completing both legs, 3 sets. Following the deadlifts, we have the side bends. Now this one is quite nice and simple. Standing up tall, weight onto one side, reach down until your fingers get equivalent to your kneecap, and reach all the way over until your other side fingers are equivalent to your kneecap. So down and over, down and over. Be wary of leaning forward to make this easier. Keep that chest up so we feel it in the obliques, not the lower back. So it's over, 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 and over, okay? Each time the weight hits your knee is 1 rep, so it'll be over 1, over 2. Go 15 per side. Progression-wise, we can just do a hold to make it easier. So standing nice and tall, and just hold that weight, keep the body nice and central. If you begin to feel the lean, change the weight, otherwise stay nice and tall. You can make this harder still by doing side planks instead. This will be on the floor, on one side, feet out, lift the hips up, hand wherever's comfortable. You can even put a bit of weight on your hips to make this a little bit harder. You go down as far as you can without resting on the floor, and then up, down, up, and down. This is second to last, we have the shrugs. This is about the only one where you're gonna want weights on both sides of your body, okay? If you don't have 2 weights, it's fine to just do one side and then do the other. That's absolutely perfectly acceptable. If it gets you training, it gets you training, okay? So shrugs, standing nice and tall, arms out, and then try and shrug and squeeze your shoulders up to your ears. So squeeze, up, slight pause, down, up, pause, down, up, pause, and down. Good. To make this harder, you might need a little bit of support for this one. If you've got a door frame or a squat rack, you hold on to the squat rack, lean, and then perform the same shrug again, just at a slight incline instead. If you need an easier progression, so say you're feeling a bit of pinching feeling going on in the shoulders when you're doing the shrugs, that could be potential nerve damage going on or a trapped nerve, you can go for shoulder shrugs instead. It's no weight, so it's just body weight. We aim for movement rather than weight. To do these, you go shoulders forward, shoulders up, shoulders back, shoulders down. Nice, slow, big circles trying to really focus on the contraction and the control. The last exercise of workout 1 is to do farmer's walks, offset farmer's walks. Now this is the closest thing you're going to be able to get to the log run without actually doing the log run itself. For this, you want to get the heaviest weight you can manage in one hand. And you're going to take 10 to 15 steps walking forward. So keep the chest nice upright, take controlled steps walking forward. Once you've done 10 to 15 on one side, turn around and go again. Okay? The way to make this easier and harder is just go for weight. If it's fairly easy, try and up that weight however you can. Try and get as much weight in your arm as you can for 10 to 15 reps. Take a 2-minute rest, do it 3 times on both sides. Workout 2 is going to be more of a core circuit. So we're going to be working definitely the midriff, trying to strengthen your trunk, ready to take on the lateral forces that will be pulling you side to side, as well as a little bit of work on the hips, as the legs do connect to the hips and the hips connect to the core. So for this one, you're going to be doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for each side. Once you've done every exercise, that's 1 round, take a 2-minute rest. You need to be trying to complete at least 3 rounds, maybe 4, up to 5 if you want to, okay? But it's all depending on how much time you have available to do this workout. The first exercise is the Mtn Climber Twist. For this, you want to be in the press-up position. We're not actually doing press-ups, don't worry. So press-up position, and then unlike the standard mountain climber, which most of you may be familiar with, we're going to do this slower and more controlled. So what you're going to do is bring one knee to the opposite elbow, squeeze and down. There's 1 rep. Squeeze and down. So you keep going, squeeze and down for 30 seconds. You're then going to take a 30-second rest and go for the next exercise. To make this easier, you can just hold a plank, whether that's the high plank or the low plank. To make it harder, you go for V-sit bicycle crunches instead. So it's similar to a mountain climber, except for you're the other way around. So it'll be feet out off the floor, and then 1 elbow to knee, squeeze, elbow to knee, squeeze, elbow to knee, squeeze. Don't rush it. The mountain climber, at least what we want to do, it needs to be slow, controlled contractions for 30 seconds. After the mountain climbers, we're then going to go work on the hips a little bit for side leg raises. So for this one, you'll be lying down on your side. Hand can be any position you want to. If you want to be down, that's fine. I just prefer this way. And again, free hand, bit of support on the floor, behind you, wherever, okay? Same again, slow control contractions. Keep the legs straight, lift it up nice and high, squeeze, down, up, squeeze, down, and up, squeeze, and down. Slow, controlled contractions. If you want to make this easier, you can go for clamshells. So bring the knees in, keep your heels together, and then just open out the legs and down, open out the legs and down. If you want to make it harder, you can go for star raises. So I suggest doing this one on the elbow. We go legs out, and then we lift and down, and then lift and down. So we're also getting a bit of a cheeky side plank in there, as well as doing the hips at the same time. And of course, 30 seconds, then you have 30 seconds rest, and then 30 seconds of doing the same progression on the other side. So if you did standard, do standard. If you did star raises, do star raises as well. Following that, we then have the Copenhagen Plank. Now this is new to many people, but it's going to be working the inner thighs as well. Because when you're running with your log, as you're close, if say the weight is on my left side, as that left leg lifts off the floor, the right leg is going to be trying to pull over with the log. You need that strength to keep you in line. So it's going to be similar to a side plank. You'll be in the side plank position. You want both feet on the floor this time, not 1 foot stacked. So you're going to need that top leg. You lift up, and then this bottom leg that's closest to the floor, lift it out the way. This puts all the strain on your obliques and the inner part of your thigh. If you want to make it easier, We can do it on the knee instead. So we want to be knee out the way to start with, up, lift that leg off the floor. If you want to make it harder, you can add in dips as well. So straight, up, and then leg out the way. We dip down and then squeeze up, dip down and squeeze up. Then perform the same variation, the same progression on the other side for 30 seconds. Of course, with all this work to the front of the core and the side of the core, it's good practice to also do the lower back as well and help that strength. For this, we're going to go for alternating bird dogs, mainly because they have a little bit of a rotational element to them, which is going to help us and our needs on the log run. So you want to be on all fours in tabletop position, slow controlled reps. I keep saying it, I'm going to say it again, slow controlled reps. So on all fours, you're going to alternately lift one arm out and the opposite leg at the same time. There's a balance element and also a little bit of a rotational element here. Point those fingers, point those toes, bring the hands back, and then other side, point the fingers, point the toes, and then keep going at a slow, controlled contraction tempo for your 30-second time frame. And up and down, up and down. If you want to make it easier, you can just go for donkey kicks instead. So that's tabletop position. This time there's no arms. We lift one foot up, try and get the knee high. Don't worry about where the foot is, worry about how high the knee is in relation to the hips. So knee nice and high and down, knee nice and high and down. If this means you have to do a leg straight, fine. Concentrate on getting the knee up rather than the foot. If you want to make it harder, you can go for a bear bird dog instead, which is tabletop position, knees off the floor, and then go for alternate arm and leg, trying to keep that knee close to the floor, but not on the floor. 30 seconds on. Once you've done the bird dog, you can take your 2 minutes rest, do all of those exercises again, at least another 2 times through for your minimum of 3 rounds. Once you've done all your 3 rounds on the core workout, I want you to do a finisher of 3 minutes of calf raises. So just once through, right at the very end, once you've done all your rounds, you're standing up nice and tall, stand on your toes, slight pause and down. On the toes, slight pause and down for 3 minutes. Get as many as you can done in 3 minutes with control. So we don't want to be jumping, we're not skipping. It's up, pause, down, up, pause and down. If you want to make this harder, you can try alternate single leg. So one leg and down, and one leg and down. Keep those going for the full 3 minutes. Even if you start on one leg, then a minute and a half through, you go, this is quite hard, then switch to double leg. That's absolutely fine. Just keep going for the full 3 minutes. Try and do all those workouts at least once a week. And hopefully in about 3 weeks, you'll start to see some progressions. The sooner you start, the more function and ability and strength you're going to have. So if you need any alterations or progressions on any of those exercises, let me know, drop a comment. For those who are coming on the log run, get in touch with me via the email or messenger, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hopefully, I'll see you all soon, nice and strong, ready for the log run, having raised a good amount of money for our chosen charities.